vast majority of the floors are general population floors. But the special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown facility. So this is for Mr. Combs' protection. His incredible worldwide celebrity combined with the allegations, the charges now, an indictment, of course, of acts of violence against women make him a very...
$18 million. It's instructive that he's going to have a bail package ready so that if he was arrested, he would have something ready so that he could get out the next...
Okay, so picture this Diddy, who once ran the charts with Bad Boy Records, launched in 1993, and pushed stars like Notorious Big Mace and Faith Evans, and who later dropped hits like I'll Be Missing You, then turned into a fashion mogul with Sean John and spread his empire into TV drinks and more, living like an icon worth around $800 million, flying private and buying mansions, is now sitting locked up, and the vibe is ugly. He was born in Harlem in 1969, lost his dad when he was just 2, and hustled his way from an intern to a boss. But his shine always came with drama lawsuits and rumors that kept haunting him. Fast forward to 2024, the feds raided his houses, then arrested him on big charges, and he sat in custody after being denied bail. His trial started in May 2025, and by July, the jury cleared him of the worst charges, but still found him guilty of transporting people across states for adult stuff. So now since July, he has been stuck in federal lockup waiting for sentencing day, which is set for October 3rd, 2025. Prosecutors want more than 11 years. His lawyers beg for less, saying he already served time, and they even filed appeals. But the judge denied a new trial, so the conviction is standing. And the most chilling update came from his lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, who said putting Diddy in general population could be deadly since inmates already know his history with minors, and they are literally waiting to get at him, making him a prime target inside.
This isn't the only famous inmate to be housed there. We had Sam Bankman-Fried there, R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell. They were all inmates there. Sean Combs is being kept away from the general inmate population. You say his fame makes him a target.
Yeah, sure. And not necessarily at the MDC only. I mean,
anywhere.
Yes, in my humble estimation, his life, his safety is in jeopardy in any correctional lockup right now. If it is true, as reported, that he is housed in the special housing unit, it's important to note that the special housing unit is a lockdown, 24-hour lockdown unit. The MDC Brooklyn is a high-rise. The vast majority of the floors are general population floors. But the special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown facility. So this is for Mr. Combs' protection. His incredible worldwide celebrity combined with the allegations, the charges now, an indictment, of course, of acts of violence against women make him a very attractive target.
All right.
So they need to safeguard him.
This is a man accustomed to the very finest. He was arrested at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City, known for its luxury suites and exceptional food and wine, where one-bedroom suites start at $3,000 a night. He was probably staying in something larger. What is life like for him now at the MDC?
I would say 100% total culture shock. The MDC is, I've used the word austere a lot, but it is. It's austere, it's strict, it's impersonal, it's cold. And it is a very tough...
So Diddy's lawyer, Agnifilo, made it sound super dark when he talked about the Brooklyn Detention Center, calling it pure hell. And now people are saying he might get moved to J-pop, which could be way worse. And the guy is falling apart. He already tried 3 times for bail, even offered a $50 million house arrest deal, and still got denied. Insiders say he is not built for prison life. And the stress is eating him alive. The judge shut down his bail in May 2025 after hearing he was reaching out to witnesses, even though his team said it was harmless, but the court didn't care. And now everyone is just waiting to see if he can even handle what comes next.
Steve, for the first time in his life, Sean Diddy Combs has spent a week behind bars. He's here inside MDC, where he's been since his arrest on Monday night on federal sex trafficking and other charges, to all of which he's pleaded not guilty. There's no VIP section. There is no concierge, only con men, killers, and kingpins. MDC is so bad, federal judges have questioned the harsh conditions for those here awaiting trial. So bad I was here 2 years ago during a cold spell, reporting on detainees with no heat, pounding on windows for help. There was even a congressional inquiry. But take the word of a former inmate I spoke with who goes by Esco.
It's terrible. The food is terrible. Of course, the inmates are terrible. The guards are terrible. It's the condition.
Word on the street is Diddy might be asking for suicide watch again, since solitary is brutal with 23 hours alone that makes people lose it. But he thinks it is still better than being with the general population where inmates already see him as a pedophile. And deep down, he knows making it out of there alive would be nearly impossible.
People magazine says it's got a source on the inside that tells them that P. Diddy's on suicide watch tonight. Do your sources confer the same information? Are they saying it was possible?
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the SHU have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on suicide watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there, he was like an overnight guest. When they killed his bond hearing, now they checked him into the system, and reality has hit him. And I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job, to keep an eye on the inmates that are.
Diddy went all out, offering $50 million cash, a $70 million mansion, and even family passports. But Judge Aaron still refused, saying nothing could protect the victims, and then leaked recordings exposed Diddy using secure prison phones to pressure them, which backfired hard. Because now instead of freedom, he has even stricter eyes watching every move.
He did here is on a magnitude of unlike anybody else you could imagine. A week after these public searches were televised, he gave us his passport. His children gave us his passport. He then paid off the mortgage entirely on his Miami home, $18 million. It's instructed that he's going to have a bail package ready so that if he was arrested, he would have something ready so that he could get out the next day and show the judge he's taking this very seriously, which he is, which is why 12 days ago, Chris, when we thought there's an indictment that may be coming, he flew to New York the very next day. And that's an extraordinary move for a defendant who's been under investigation that he's been aware of for at least 6 months. He has done everything somebody under investigation can do. I can't think of anything else that he could have done. He's fighting, he's innocent, and he's going to be able to show it.
What do you think about that counter argument? Because his team has said, we're going to put together the proposed bail package, a $50 million bond, co-signed by him, his mom, and his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and his 3 adult sons. It's going to be secured by the equity in his property in Miami, Florida. Home detention, his passport will be surrendered. The government said that's insufficient. They said, look at the charges, look at the weight of the evidence that I just mentioned. They said they have allegations that he and his associates were trying to tamper with witness testimony last year so that they wouldn't cooperate with the government. What do you take away about who has the stronger argument in terms of bail?
Well, I think his counsel has done the best they possibly can. I think bringing him there voluntarily is very smart. Starts them out on the right foot. But I think the last thing that you just mentioned, the interfering with witnesses.
That's the allegation, yeah.
Yeah, if that's true, or I should say, if there's real indicia that happened, I think that might tip the scales in favor of not letting him out pending trial, because I think, and you know this, I think judges take an extraordinarily dim view of that. And that might be the factor that tips the scale again.
They say Diddy is losing it inside jail, his mind slipping as he fears getting attacked and just wants out, while on the outside things look no better. With 3 of his closest allies now dragged into lawsuits that could land them behind bars too, and people around him believe he is drowning in fear and stress with no clue how long he can actually hold on.
Here's a report from the Daily Mail. That's why Diddy had a breakdown. A person close to him apparently said, quote, spending the holidays behind bars was a nightmare for him. If we're to believe all this, Diddy had a meltdown in his cell and begged the guards to take him to the hospital for observation, but they refused. This same friend or person told the Daily Mail, quote, he eventually managed to calm himself down with the meditation technique he's been using while he's been behind bars. It took him a few hours of deep breathing and focusing to get out of the bad space he was in, but he finally managed it. This isn't the first time Diddy's mental health has come into question while he's been at MDC. When he first arrived, he was on suicide watch, which the U.S. Department of Justice National Institute of Corrections describes as supervisory precautions taken for suicidal inmates that require frequent observation. Diddy's suicide watch was only temporary, though. He was housed in a special protective unit of the jail after that for the first few weeks of his stay. But Diddy right now is in Gen Pop, meaning general population, the place where majority of the inmates stay. And that's where he apparently had this meltdown over the holidays, at least according to one source.
He's suffering the consequence, and I don't feel bad for him at all. Because people was trying to talk to him. People was trying to tell him. You couldn't pull him by the coat and let him know anything. You understand? They messed up the game, brother. When he put that shit out with them, money, power, respect, it ain't never been like that. It ain't never been like that. You got your respect in the street that gave you your power, that brought you your money. Totally different thing. He let that money, power, and respect go to his head, but he had it ass backwards. So do I care what happened? Nah. He got enough money to buy his way out of this. So we think.
So when you look at that video of him pacing around and he's looking worried, and you knowing him, do you think it's possible that he might commit suicide?
When you're a narcissist, there's always a possibility because you're suffering. But I don't think that he can see himself in a cage. I don't think he can see himself behind those bars in those type of situations. It's too many real dudes that dislike him. But then again, there's a lot of real dudes that need help. And him being behind bars, he could probably help them.
There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the sex trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but he's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is...
Craziest part is Diddy's own lawyers came out and admitted the freak-off tapes are real, but they are claiming the 9 tapes only show wild parties and nothing criminal from him, even though no one knows if the court will believe that. And to make it worse, his ex, Jennifer Lopez, is being dragged into the mess. After Cardell Smith said Diddy attacked him in a Detroit hotel back in 1997 with J-Lo helping cover it up, and that the whole thing was even caught on tape. Plus, cops from the mansion raid said the baby oil and tapes were just the beginning, and the real evidence they grabbed was more than enough to keep him locked without bail. So now Diddy is sitting stuck in jail, losing every battle, and each new day making him look more finished than ever. Hey, if you want to keep up with all this wild drama and even juicier updates, then you gotta stick with me on Taylor Tells All, because trust me, the tea is only getting hotter. So hit that subscribe button and don't miss the next scoop.